I just wanted to start off by saying about the LNG that was approved yesterday in particular. This is an important project that needed to be approved. It's about jobs for British Columbians. It's about the prosperity of our entire economy. But the next step now is to get this project built. So I reiterate again what I said yesterday to Mr. Trudeau. We need you to champion this project. Now that it's been approved by the federal government, champion it, because we know that with gas prices where they're at, this company may not, in fact, move forward with building the project. So let's do everything we can to convince them this is a great place to build this project. And I call on Mr. Trudeau to champion the project as much as he can.
Can I ask you a question about the LNG project? And the government appears to be playing sort of a chess game with this project, getting Christy Clark on side. What are your thoughts on how this fits in with what they're trying to do with the national climate strategy?
Well, listen, at the end of the day, what we want to see is jobs created. This project, Mr. Trudeau had no option but to approve this project. I mean, the consultations have been ongoing for 6 years. The proponent has gone through all of the regulatory approvals that it needed to. And unfortunately, now we're at a place where it may not even be built. And that's why now that it's approved, Mr. Trudeau has to champion this as a Canadian project. The Canadian government has approved it, and he has to make the case, whether it's to the proponent or investors, that this is a good project to move ahead with because there's jobs on the line and billions of dollars in investment waiting.
You got a letter from your office got a letter questioning the fitness for office of the Deputy House Leader. What's your answer and what's going on in that race? Do you feel as though it's taking a bad turn because of Mr. Troce's?
Look, as I've said about the leadership race, this will continue on right till the end of May. But I can tell you what I and our parliamentary team is squarely focused on, and that's holding the Liberals to account. Like, for instance, in the last week, great opportunity for us to highlight the fact that I believe more and more the Liberals are taking Atlantic Canada for granted. It's been only Conservatives who have stood up to call the government to account on why the Prime Minister didn't just right from get-go say that he was going to replace Justice Cromwell with an Atlantic Canadian. So there's a lot of reasons why we need to stand up for Atlantic Canada, and those are the kinds of issues that are driving our parliamentary team and will continue to drive it.
Should the Deputy House Leader step down, though? Should he step down? That's the question.
Tax breaks or tax incentives? Or you
know what, lots of different opportunities for the Prime Minister to look at ways to champion this project. This is about jobs. Families in British Columbia need this. Christy Clark has underscored this time and time again. This is not just about the prosperity of British Columbians, it's about the prosperity of the entire country. And if Mr. Trudeau is willing to champion this project now that he has approved it, it sends a message to the rest of the energy sector that these are important projects. Kinder Morgan.
What do you mean by championing? Like talking about it or?
Be there for the announcement. Why wasn't he there yesterday? Why didn't he send a signal about how important this project is? Now that it's approved, talk about the importance of these jobs. This company may very well walk away and never build this project because gas prices are low. So let's send a great message to the investor that this is an important project for Canada, that Canada supports it. We want to see the investment in British Columbia and in Canada for these kinds of energy projects. And listen, we don't know if this project will ever be built, but Kinder Morgan Pipeline is also ready for approval. It's on the Prime Minister's desk, and we know it will be built. We know it will be built if it's approved, and that's hundreds of jobs and, again, billions of dollars of investment, and it's making sure that our oil that is landlocked in Alberta and Saskatchewan can finally get to Tidewater and sold at a higher price, which benefits all Canadians and will create jobs. So that's the next challenge for Mr. Trudeau.
Is that a precedent that the Kinder Morgan pipeline will be approved by this government?
I hope so. I hope so.
Isn't this LNG project also about increasing greenhouse gas emissions? I mean, environmentalists say it's the equivalent of putting more than 1 million cars on the road. So can the government say it's trying to reduce emissions and approve this at the same time?
Well, the project was approved with 190 conditions, and let me say the project was approved under the same laws that we used for projects. So I know that Mr. Trudeau likes to talk about that there's this renewed process, but this is in fact the Canadian Environmental Assessment Agency's 2012 rules that have been in place all along. They are good rules. They're solid, rigorous rules. It's been approved with many conditions, but again, it still needs to be built. We have no way of knowing at this point if this project will ever be built, so Mr. Trudeau now has to champion it in any way that he can to make sure it is built.
Will it increase emissions?
You'll have to look at the project itself. Any new production will obviously increase emissions, but there's mitigation strategies that have been imposed on the company, and I'm sure that they will do what they need to do. Again, though, if it's ever built. So now the next step after approval is championing the project, hoping that we can convince this company to make these investments and build this project.
Well, why do you think that he would not do that? Like, why would he not champion it?
You'll have to ask him. He wasn't there yesterday for the announcement, which is clearly, we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar investment by a company in Canada, which will create many, many jobs. So it would have been nice to see him there. Having said that, maybe he was busy, but now it's been approved. I want to hear him say this is an important project. I'm going to work hand in hand with Christy Clark and with the people of British Columbia to get this project over the finish line and see it built and make sure this company makes these investments in the end in British Columbia.
Monsieur Lebel, je voulais s'entendre en français sur la course à la direction. On en a un sixième candidat qui s'ajoute aujourd'hui. Il y en a 5 ou 6 qui ont l'intention de se lancer aussi. Est-ce que ça pourrait pas donner lieu à une course comme celle des Républicains, donc aux États-Unis, où il y a eu beaucoup d'étincelles, beaucoup de flamèches, de la surenchère verbale aussi? Est-ce que vous craignez ça? On est
un parti démocratique qui est très ouvert, on l'a prouvé. Et aujourd'hui, il y a plusieurs personnes intéressées, candidates et candidats à la course à la chefferie. Ça va sûrement amener son lot de défis pour tout le monde. L'équipe du Parti conservateur est une équipe soudée. Après cette course à la chefferie-là, on sera encore un parti uni et on va travailler pour revenir au gouvernement en 2019 avec la femme ou l'homme qui sera choisi pour nous représenter comme leader du parti. D'ici là, on va laisser les candidats faire leur travail. Il y a des conditions très claires et nous, on va bâtir l'avenir à partir de la personne qui sera choisie. Mais présentement, Mme Ambrose fait un travail exceptionnel comme leader intérimaire du parti. J'essaie de bien la supporter. À tous les jours, on questionne les libéraux sur leur façon de gérer notre pays, où on nous amène dans des dédales administratifs où les dépenses sont sans fin et qu'on n'a pas de contrôle. Nous, on la lutte à la chefferie du parti est en route et on va la laisser faire.
Qu'est-ce que vous pensez des récents commentaires, des récents gestes posés par M. Trost qui semblent vouloir visiblement semer la zizanie?
C'est à M. Trost à répondre là-dessus. On est encore à plus d'un an avant moins d'un an, mais on a encore plusieurs mois avant l'élection, avant le choix de notre chef. Écoutez, les candidats font des déclarations. Il y en a eu de différentes qui sont venues au fil des semaines agrémenter les discussions. Nul doute que vous aurez d'autres questions à nous poser d'ici la fin de la campagne, mais pour l'instant, on va laisser les candidates faire leur travail. Nous, on va travailler de faire en sorte que le Parti conservateur sorte plus fort que tout après cette élection.
C'est agrémenté, mais c'est pas plutôt envenimé?
Ça fait partie du lot de cette lutte à la chefferie-là. Plusieurs personnes sont intéressées. C'est montre qu'on est un parti en santé, que plusieurs personnes veulent représenter notre parti, donc il y a de l'intérêt pour ce qui se passe. J'entends pas beaucoup parler des candidats ou candidates à la chefferie du NPD pendant ce temps-là où il n'y en a pas, alors que nous, on nous dit qu'il y en a trop. J'aime mieux en avoir trop que pas du tout.
Sur la question de l'ALENA, est-ce que vous estimez que le gouvernement canadien devrait défendre davantage la question de NAFTA, qui est un peu accusé de tous les maux et tous les torts par certains candidats aux États-Unis?
Il est clair que le Canada doit défendre le fait qu'on est un pays ouvert au commerce et qu'on se doit de travailler sur les accords de commerce internationaux. Ça doit se faire se faire en respect. On a beau avoir une série de rencontres, de grands dîners, de grandes rencontres avec des accolades. Quand il n'y a pas de résultat, pour nous, on n'a pas encore démontré la capacité. On peut bien aller à l'international, distribuer des millions de dollars et dire Canada is back. Si on n'est pas capable de défendre notre pays au niveau du commerce international et des ententes et faire valoir qu'on est capable de continuer à exporter avec un cadre qui est respecté, pour nous, on manque à notre devoir. Donc, le Canada est un pays exportateur. Notre population est une population qui est petite pour un grand pays. On est un grand pays pour la production de nos matières, raison pour laquelle il est important qu'on accepte le projet de gaz naturel liquéfié, qu'on a parlé de Kinder Morgan tantôt. Il faut qu'on ouvre nos frontières. C'est important, on ne peut pas s'autosuffire. Et dans ce sens, le gouvernement doit défendre les intérêts du Canada.